Alrighty, let's have a serious talk. It's gonna be serious. Amidst all the wars that you don't get to see because the media colors the war so pretty like, and the other problem, which really isn't a problem, is the United States didn't want to see the war happening. And, well, you kind of slightly got what you wanted. But you also got another thing. You won't know when they die either. I don't ship bodies back to North America or South America. They don't belong here. But anyway, let's get back to the real talk. Talking about the H&R Block program. It doesn't matter if it's H&R Block. There is another program out there that does taxes. So let me give you a little heads up on something. H&R Block was not founded inside the United States. It was founded over in Russia, mainly used in Germany. A heavily used program that's gone through over 100 years worth of undergoing and filing taxes. I can even go to roughly about 300 years, which in relativeness of its own make today is a bit different than what it used to be. Before you didn't get a return. But anyway, taxes are taking a change. The United States of North America, you lost all your debates in the trial. That means this country is no longer property of the United States of America as of 1983. Your paper may say 1980. Interesting how the government that is for looks, your Senate, your representatives, your Congress, all for looks. Don't like to tell you the truth. But then again, the 78% that left and the 22% that's still here, they want to hear the truth. Just so happens that's a problem, huh? Well, here's what the new news and taxes is. As of 2019, there won't be an H&R Block open in January 1st. There won't be a Jackson Hewlett, and there definitely will not be any other tax preparations. If you ever saw what you saw probably here in 2018, 17, 16, and 15, you saw your actual account name. It is now considered illegal for them to actually file your taxes. If any taxes. If anything's withheld. It's illegal for the IRS in a way to do business like it's been doing business with accounts. And that's the law well before your made up little feuds of your so-called think camps called representatives, called Senate, called Congress. Military don't have to worry about them here because they no longer exist in this country. Neither do they exist in South America. If you haven't got the big picture just yet, some of you complained. Said, why is there like 9 of a single person? Not all 9's the same person. And as this goes on and you drive around and everything, we just GPS your locations. It's not a spy ring as much as it's a pick the person up. If you're over in Europe or Russia, you go to the island. Ever watch the Island movie where they execute people? Well, we don't exactly execute people. So some of you will be going there. And if all is a lie, you'll be going to jail. So But as of 2019, the European government, as well as the Soviet and Russian government, are no longer handling that of any income tax. When I say handling, we still get a copy of everything, but you're 100% liable for that copy. There's no real insurance that they're gonna end up allowing you to file like you do with some of these broke tax filers. It's mainly for the purpose of learning how to. That's why you see H&R Block and certain employees turn over, as well as most of them are going to college for accounting. It's an actual hands-on kind of thing implemented by the Soviet and Russians who wanted to see people succeed in knowing what they're doing and what some of the databases in the SSCR and the European government's databases, what they look like. How much of a headache they got by first, I think, 6 tiers, and that's TIER, and how much of the rest of the 25 you still gotta learn minus what you already learned, so it'd be 19 if you're a tier 6. Some have actually gone to tier 8. Whether that's a large number or a small number, that's pretty good. The higher you get with the TIERs, the more likely you're going to get closer to a treasury accountant. And believe it or not, it tops out at $40,000. A firm accountant tops out exactly at whatever they come up with. They're considered a third reference word, third party. So Mathers and Mathers is considered a third party. You're not considered a legitimate source. By the way, you were under investigation this whole time. And that's local Williamsport. Judge Alan Smith and Judge Richard Smith, you were also under investigation. Greavy was under investigation for a different reason, as well as a few topics of legality about his actual problem. Is that he would be liable for prison if he knew what was going on. But unfortunately, he died. So, with all this said, you're going to see a lot of different changes. You're seeing a lot of different vehicle changes. You're seeing Chevy, Dodge going out of business. You're seeing other businesses leaving that were never really here, going back to other countries to be reworked. Chevy, I hate to say it, but you're on the chopping block. That's because you asked for Dodge. You're definitely on the chopping block in the sense of the reference word of your problems with your administration, let alone the cars. Especially Dodge. I mean, why? You actually make a car that functions when you're shown how a car functions on its brakes. It's so-called cool, but it's funny. I'm about to find out that this open-air prison is about to turn into a hot mess in jail. So, let's see, Nissan. But anyway, there's quite a few companies that are automotive, automobile isn't one of them that's going on the back inventory shelf in many different ways. Cadillac, you knew this. Pontiac, GMC, they want GMC vehicles, but I'm back shelving them on the inventory list for a few different reasons. And that's just to keep a well managed car in the sense of how they were managed by my notes that I left last time. Looking as good as it runs and acts and does what it does. It's the local dealerships that we often have problems with, and that in some senses is when we tell you to hook the computer up and let the person out of the country to deal with the computer side of the car, it's mainly because you didn't have the training. In certain aspects, is Dodge has pretty much a lot of Dodge employees as a slight experiment, but not really an experiment, a training purpose to see whether or not the Union would try to infiltrate Canada, or worse of the two, the other country that also was capable of understanding the computer design and code and programming, let alone the hardware structure. Because let me put it this way, H&R Block, you thought mathematics was your big headache. Try doing car programming sometime. It's definitely like a 500 aspirin or ibuprofen bottle that has to sit there to alleviate the headache for all the mathematical differences, especially when you're dealing with over a million or an alien, as it actually is, different products. So let's see. As far as the question for people in 1980 to present, is their taxes in line with what needs to happen? The EU and Soviet and Russia are no longer going to grant credit access for these. So if you were depending on dollar access by a not inflated but a spending spree on the consumer side, you would find out you probably got a sad report back to you about why, mainly with a lot of unions, why you shouldn't have signed up for the 12 and 15% taxes to be taken out and then try to group them into an account after being issued a check for those amounts. That was actually to see whether or not you'd break the law. And over 480,000 people did, so you're going to find out a nice, cool jail cell. Because of the letters you wrote, if you even wanted that answer, honestly. And I'm talking to the union. The other part of it is the structure of the union is flawed. You shouldn't have to belong to anyone or to any organization or group or union to actually be able to work. So all these non-unions that are union employed on a heavily basis, you're about to find out your wake up little call up there about why you shouldn't have. Workers' compensation, no matter what state you're in, a territory, if you ain't got what we have marked in those accounts, nice jail cell. That's why the United States is taking a stance of acting like they're being provoked. They're not being provoked. You're just stealing and you're lying. As well as your so-called citizens. But no one got a lollipop today, so. Anyway, have a good day, and I hope the news, other than the other thing that they do need to know, is the abolishment of local, personal, and certain taxes, such as an employment tax. Does not alleviate the EUN tax, which is normally employment European nation, which is actually EUSN and whatnot, but I have a problem with that one, so it runs into another abbreviational or lineup. So, bye-bye school tax, that's the other one. Doing away with personal, doing away with local, doing away with school tax. No school will be issued a tax allowance. Also, earned income tax is going to the federal overseas instead of local. Because you guys can't freaking do the math worth crap. And you technically cannot take someone before court, which a trial, that's the other thing I wanted to tell Smith. You can't issue judgment on something you have no authority over. And you were talked to, and this was talked about to you in 1980, roughly 1980, 1990, about why this is not allowed. So, good luck on that. I hope the jail cell treats you good, so your other one that's lingering around. But, yeah, and the other one up there, the shot room. But that's all I had to tell you. So, bye-bye.